CJ, what's your message to a young guy like Missi, being in a situation like that and not being able to knock that second free throw down? Obviously, the first time he's ever been in that type of situation. Do you say anything to him, or is it just like, another one of those learning moments?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say anything tonight. I think he had enough going on in his life and on his mind to where I let it sit for tonight, and we'll just talk about the importance of just remaining confident. You're going to make shots, you're going to miss shots. The game didn't come down to those free throws. There's turnovers. I had 4 throughout the game. We had a couple breakdowns where we trapped and didn't rotate. They got threes. A couple transition opportunities we didn't score. There's other plays that, impacted the game. Obviously, he's going to feel the weight of the world on the free throws, but the game comes down to a lot of different plays throughout. I missed the free throw. It's a one-possession game, right? We're down 2. Instead of that, we're down 1. He splits. Game's tied up. So I think there's a lot of ways you can look at the game. And I think for him, it's just about growth and continuing to work. And he's getting better each night. He played well. And now we move forward to the next game.
How tough is it when y'all are really clawing to get this win in this streak, and it feels like you did a lot of things right tonight and still, not able to close it out in the end?
Yeah, I mean, we shot over 50 from the field, over 48 from 3. We did a good job, throughout the game. This is a good team. It's well coached. Would like to get a couple possessions back, but we play like this every night. We're gonna have a chance to win games and get ourselves out of where we're currently at. But I think losing is difficult, and it's unfortunate that we keep losing. But if we can continue to take steps in the right direction like we did tonight, then I think we'll be in a much better position, and it'll be a much better brand of basketball.
Another game where, Trey has a big first half and it kind of slows down in the second half. What do you think you guys need to do to kind of get him more involved or to get him more aggressive in those situations where he can carry it over?
We got to get some more movement, some maybe back screens, get his screens, find him in transition, some of those things. And I think it's mixed, right? We got to find ways to get on the ball, but then it's also the team. They understand his value. They understand how good he is, and they're going to make it difficult for him to score. They're going to deny, some of those types of things. They're going to press into him. And that's just a part of our growth collectively as a team. I think on the floater, I think he was open in the left corner, left wing. So those are the moments where you gotta, try to get him a shot on the last possession. Not the one I threw at Missi's Yves' feet, but the one I threw to him for the layup. Him or her would have been open in the corner, and that's just us just continuing to grow and having those conversations and dialogue. And once I break the free throw line, once I break the restricted area, they're taught to come to the ball, and I thought we had a great game in terms of paint decision making. Being able to stop on 2, sometimes being able to find passes, and those are moments where I got to be better and figure out ways to kind of generate some offense, especially from 3 when we get into the paint.
How frustrating is it for you? Like, I can see that it's wearing on you and on your face. Just, it feels like you are reliving all those opportunities that y'all had where you made mistakes. Is that something of a burden that you kind of put on yourself as a leader of this team, as a vet, that you're seeing all those miscues as they tally up during the game? And when you go back to talk to the rest of these guys, are you saying, look, these are the things, these little things, these 1, 2, 3 things per quarter are costing us the difference between wins and losses? Do you feel that burden as the vet, as the leader of this team?
I mean, it's a game of margins, and I think as you get older, you realize each possession matters. And you go look at the end of the game and say that we didn't execute, and we had some opportunities to make shots. I had a floater I missed. We ended up getting fouled on 1, but the game doesn't. Obviously, that's what everybody sees in the highlights. But there's so many possessions throughout the game that kind of changes the game, right? We gave up a couple offensive rebounds under 2 minutes. I gave up a corner 3 in the first half. We were in a drop coverage, which means you guarding it 2-on-2. And I kind of watched the ball. Harden threw a strong side corner, Dunn hits a 3. So it's like there's so many plays throughout the game that you're not going to remember, but we're playing them over and over again in our head. And then obviously I watch the film and figure out how to win within the margins. Obviously we played a good offensive game, a good defensive game, but there's 1 or 2 possessions that we just have to get better at collectively. And that's the difference, right? Those are 2 possessions where, instead of us being down 1 or 2, we up 1 or 2. So it's a different type of game. It's a different type of pressure. They got to go execute. They got to go play in the half court with a switching defense and those types of things. But, I mean, we're making strides in the right direction. But like you said before, you want to see the result at the end of the game, and we're not getting it right now.
CJ, it looked like you and DJ looked to be in kind of a decent rhythm the way you guys were getting your offense for much of the game, and you got really going there in the second half. Do you feel like that chemistry is improving? Are you guys learning a little bit more about each other's games?
Yeah. I mean, this is my 20th game of the season. I don't know how many DJs played. I have to look, but we haven't played a lot of games together. Yeah, so think about that. That's we got 17 games in 30 days this month in January. So when you look at it, the grand scheme of things, we haven't played a lot of basketball together, so it's going to take time. Obviously, we're having the dialogue, we're working out, we're doing those things, and I think, the rhythm is coming back, for a lot of us. The extra work we can get on some of these days where I can get in the gym at night and get some work in, I can get some stuff with my trainer and with my strength guy, like that's helpful for me. It's the extra reps that I need to feel more comfortable from a movement standpoint, from a conditioning standpoint. Like I finally feel like I'm in a spot where, coming off an injury, like I feel like myself. But it takes time. Like you come back and you're trying to find your way. There's things that are happening with the team. Obviously, you're losing games. You wanna help any way that you can, and you feel like you're coming up short. But I think it's just a matter of preparation and perspective, and I just try to keep both of those things in order. And I think that the tide's going to turn, and we're heading in a good direction. It's just unfortunate that we've dug, such a horrible hole.
And CJ, could you talk a little bit more about, you said you're coming off injury, so you're trying to get your rhythm, get to 100% conditioning-wise.
Well,
Dejounte just mentioned to us that he's not 100%. He's been dealing with a lot of things. He admitted that, but he didn't want to say more to not use it as an excuse. But a lot of fans don't see that, especially when you guys don't make those excuses. So you kind of tell from your vantage point what you're seeing, what Dejounte is going through right now.
I mean, he's got so much. I mean, obviously, he's not going to speak on it, but he's the situation with his mom, right? Like, he's playing games, his body is here, but his mind can't be here each night, obviously recovering from the hand. But that's a lot to deal with, Obviously, we want to perform well, and we get paid to play and just kind of pretend nothing else in your life is happening. But there's a lot of things that can affect how you play on the court, and family is precious, and you only get one. And, this game is important to us, but it doesn't last forever. 20 years from now, no one's really going to remember a lot of us, you know what I mean? They'll remember how we made them feel and the impact that we had in the community, and maybe a couple of games that we play will be like great memories for some of the kids, but no one will really remember that stuff. But you'll remember what happens to your family. You'll remember the games you had to play in where there was difficulties, or maybe there's a funeral you missed or things like that. So he's got a lot going on in his personal life, and I commend him for just being a pro. He shows up every day. He doesn't make complaints. A lot of guys wouldn't be with the team right now, to be honest with you. A lot of guys would be back home. So I think for him, he's just trying to push through and mentally get over the hurdle of not having the person that's always been in his quarter with him right now. Like she's in in Seattle, and I think that would be difficult for anybody. Especially under these circumstances, in an environment like this right now, it makes it even more difficult.
Thank you.
Theis.